actually he has to do with what I want to show you today. And that is this saber right here. I know it's been a long time since I've done something like this, being able to do a little one-on-one with you guys, but I feel like it's finally time to do so. And I do have some of your questions. I did ask you guys ahead of time some questions you may have about me, about the channel, or anything like that. So we'll get straight into those. Will we be seeing Lonnie the Snowtrooper in future videos? Yes, he will be back, and I know I'm literally mad at myself that I have not brought him back. I've had plans for him.
Don't you know that's how everyone's trained here?
But other things just get in the way, other episodes, that I've been wanting to do. And so I do have scripts ready with Lonnie. They just have not happened yet. So I promise Lonnie the Snowtrooper will make an appearance once again. I don't know exactly when that'll happen, but he is for sure coming back. So just stay tuned for that. Serious question. Prequels or the OG trilogy? Well, again, for anybody who's ever watched my channel, you'll know that my answer is the OG trilogy. That's the movies that I grew up on.
Say it again.
And they're still my favorite by far. I do like the prequels. I have come to like the prequels more. I will say that I wasn't like the biggest fan of them when they came out.
Why isn't it possible?
I did like them, but I was never the biggest fan. But over time, I think I've grown to love them even more. So I do love the prequels, but still, OG trilogy no matter what. Is there anything in Legends that you wish was canon? I mean, there's several things that I wish were canon, but I mean, probably the thing I wish the most,
I wish that I could just wish away my feelings,
would be, I really loved the Force Unleashed games way back in the day. And I mean, I love the character of Starkiller and, Sam Witwer. I love him as a performer. And so I really like the character of Starkiller. I wish Starkiller was canon somehow. I don't know how they would do that, but I really wish he was canon. But ironically, it's funny that this question comes up because actually he has to do with what I want to show you today. And that is this saber right here.
So this is the weathered Starkiller Kyber Crystal Saber from ARTSABERS, and I've actually had this one for a while, so I've had a good amount of time to take a look at it and see all of its features. And with that, this is a Profi board saber, so because of that, it comes with a lot more details for both sound effects and light effects. You can completely customize all the sounds and the light effects, and because this is a Profi board, the light actually goes through the entire saber. It's not like a baselit saber, so that is a nice bonus. As you can tell, this is the weathered down version of the handle, which I think matches the Force Unleashed games a lot more accurately, and it has the exposed crystal right there in the middle, which I think is the most outstanding feature of all. And something on this saber that I personally have not seen on any other saber is a couple of the sound options. They actually took the sounds from the pod racers and used those for the lightsaber effects.
You're going to burn that voodoo.
Another additional sound pack, and I could not believe this when I was going through them, it actually has Jurassic Park sound effects.
The other thing I want to say too is that just holding it in your hands, it just feels like a saber. I mean, this thing has got a nice weight to it. So once again, thank you to ARTSABERS for sending this to me, being able to have a chance to take a look at it and show you guys as well. Moving on to the next question. Do you have any videos that you regret making? Yes, especially way back when I first started making videos. This was also during the time where I really didn't know what I was going to be doing on this channel. I was doing kind of like video game reviews.
I mean, at least nobody else saw it.
What the heck was that thing?
And I did a review, and you can go way back and look at it. I did a review of the trailer that came out for the game Anthem. And if you remember that game at all, like, the game was terrible. Like, it was absolutely terrible. I've never seen a game price drop so fast. And the reason I hated, or at least I should say regret making that video, was because I hyped it up in that video. I made it sound like it was going to be amazing. I mean, I truly did. Based on the trailer, it looked awesome. It looked super fun. But I literally played it for only maybe 2 hours, and I was all like,
No, God! No, God, please, no!
Surprisingly, because I bought it from Target, and if you know, buying video games, movies, you cannot return things to Target. And no joke, for about 2 or 3 days, I practiced what I was going to say. I was going to say, basically I had this plan. I was like, hopefully I can smooth them over. Maybe they'll make an exception. I had this almost basically wrote up a script of what I was going to say. And I go there, and I have the video game, it's clearly open, and I say, hey, I just want to see if I could return this, and I was about to go into my whole spiel, and the lady says, okay, sure, and she takes it back. And I get a full refund for it.
I'm a genius.
I know that is rare because I know they cannot do that. So how it happened, maybe she was just busy or lazy, I don't know, but she basically just took it right away. Another one I regret, and I forget what it's called, basically the Neon Cats. I kind of got in late on that phase of what was popular at the time. And it has nothing to do with Star Wars, and of course I do parodies and stuff, but yeah, that one, I regret making that one. At least I don't think it was that funny now looking back on it, so that's another one I regret. Is there any other media that you're into besides Star Wars? Absolutely. I'm a huge nerd. I love all, especially when it comes to sci-fi. There's all kinds of things I'm into. It's kind of hard to just list them all off. I mean, I do love like the Alien, like the original Alien movies. There's a new TV show coming out for Aliens that I'm really excited to see. And, you know, of course, that whole universe spans off into other novels and comics and stuff like that. Some other stuff would be, I know it's kind of an obvious answer, but as far as like Halo, like I really love the Halo video games.
I need a weapon.
And of course that dives into a bunch of the story, but there's a huge other world of it, you know, in the novels and the comics. And if you haven't gotten into those, like if you like Halo even a little bit, like don't miss out on the books, comics. Another kind of almost cult classic is that I got it right here, and I just got this recently. This is for Starship Troopers. It's a Funko Pop. I only actually have maybe 10 Funko Pops. This is one of the ones I have, and the only reason I got it was I saw it like years ago and I bought it, but I actually just recently went to a Comic-Con, and Casper was there, the actor who plays the main character of Johnny Rico, and so I had him sign this, so that was pretty cool. I mean, there's so many things. I mean, it's honestly hard to pick. Then there's the obvious other things like DC and Marvel, some of those bigger franchises, and I mean, of course, I'm a fan of those. Like, Star Wars still takes up the mantle for me. It's up there. But as far as Marvel goes, or superheroes in general, again, I know it's kind of an obvious answer or a common answer, but Spider-Man is my favorite superhero.
That's outrageous.
What video games do you play the most? Well, I would say lately I've been playing Halo Online a lot, which is surprising because way back in the day, I used to play Halo 3 all the time way back in the day, but pretty much ever since Halo 3, I never played online, but lately I've been actually playing Halo Infinite online a lot. But I would say as far as other games, I mean, I really do love the Uncharted series on the PlayStation. I do mostly play Xbox, which I know is controversial, and I understand why tons of people play PlayStation, but at least for all the people in my life, most of them play Xbox, so I play Xbox. What were you doing before animating on this channel? Well, I've done several things, but I would say at least at the time when I first started this channel, what I was doing, I was actually working at a radio station. My main job was actually basically making sure everything ran smoothly at the radio station, but of course I did do some on-air stuff, you know, for interviews and stuff like that, but my main job was making sure everything ran smoothly. But it's kind of funny because I actually did get fired from that job.
Guess what? You're fired.
What? Do you like to dress up? I do, but I don't do it that much. I've been to a few Comic-Cons, and surprisingly I've never dressed up for them. I did, however, last year go to the Renaissance Fair, and I dressed up as Jack Sparrow, and I think I actually did a pretty good job on that costume, and I still have it, and I plan on using it again for whatever reason I can, because I do love Jack Sparrow as a character too.
Am I not?
How do you decide which videos to choose for your animations? And this is a hard thing to do because depending on what it is, if I need to start from scratch, whether, you know, for characters, background, sound effects, like it's going to take a few weeks to put that together. So I have to sit there and think, is this worth the time? Like, or is this something that's only kind of popular now, but not going to be popular by the time I get it out? And those are all things that run through my head. And some of it trumps that, you know, for example, like there's certain videos, like I made my Dead Space animation.
Profit.
That's it. Just find a spaceship. We're on a spaceship, genius.
Obviously it had nothing to do whatsoever with Star Wars, but again, that was something that I wanted to do it. It was just something I wanted to do, and I knew it wasn't going to be that popular going into it, but it was just something that I felt passionate about, and I was like, I want to do it. And so, I mean, all those factors go into deciding what's going to be put in there. Now, obviously, other things like, for example, when the Ahsoka series was going on or being released, I made Ahsoka videos.
No, right? Why mess with a classic?
I thought you were going to say something dumb like, I'm the one who brings peace, freedom, justice, and security to my new empire.
That would be really dumb to say.
It's because it's what was popular, and I obviously geared my creativity towards something like that. But I mean, it's not a one and done answer. It all kind of depends on factors of what's going on in the moment. Who is your celebrity lookalike? Now, this is an interesting question. I don't know how well it will look in the video, but I have been told a few times, and I guess it also depends on the way I dress, but I have been told a few times that I look like Ben Wyatt from Parks and Rec.
I understand. Just 1 second.
I kind of see it. I don't really see it, but a lot of people, and it's not like a striking image, but some people have said that I do look like Ben Wyatt from Parks and Rec, which I guess in a way I'm fine with.
You're right. This is ridiculous. What am I doing?
I mean, he's a funny character, so. What Star Wars project are you looking forward to the most that's coming up? I mean, as we know in Disney, I mean, things get started or things get rumored, but, and I mean, they get canceled and stuff like that. So to be honest, I don't even know if this is still in the works, but I do remember way back, like a year ago, there was an announcement for a movie, I believe. It was for Dawn of the Jedi, and I have it right here because it was a comic series that I really liked right here. This is the Dawn of the Jedi, and this was a really cool comic series. As we all love origin stories, and this was an awesome origin story, kind of going back to how the Jedi became to be. And it's a really awesome series. This is just the first issue right here, or the first volume, I should say. I don't even know if it was going to be remotely close to this, but the title alone refers obviously to this.
The title alone.
Now, again, how close they were going to follow it, I don't know, and I don't even know if it's still in the works. But if it is, that's the thing I'm looking forward to the most.
I'm so excited.
So here's a deep Star Wars lore question for maybe some of you might know. If Abeloth broke out, do you think she would take over the whole galaxy? So I won't go into the whole background of the lore, but Abeloth and Gist was probably the most evil, most powerful character in all of Star Wars, at least in Legends. And Luke was actually able to stop her, or at least along with some help, but he was able to stop her. I wonder what would have happened if basically he couldn't. Do you have any Star Wars Legos? Absolutely, obviously I have Star Wars Legos, but it's actually funny. Quick story is that I did not have Star Wars Legos for the longest time. Just like everybody, when I was a kid, I had some Lego sets.
Show off.
Nothing crazy, but a few Lego sets here and there. And I had probably a good handful of characters. And one day in school, I think it was like second or third grade or something like that, we had to do a collage or like basically build a set of a book that we read that year. And of course, I read a Star Wars book. So I took my Lego sets, all my Lego characters, everything, basically everything I owned for Lego Star Wars, and I put it into this collage thing, and that was my school project, and I used it for that. Now, towards the end of the year, and this project happened to be towards the end of the year, and they displayed them all in the library, and we were allowed to go and pick them up on the last day of school. I go there to pick up my little collage I made with all of my Star Wars Legos in it, and it was thrown away. I lost everything. And ever since then, I literally just turned away from Lego Star Wars. Almost like having your video game stats wiped clean. And it's just all gone. You just don't have the energy. You just don't feel the need or want. It just feels like so much was wasted. So for the longest time, I had no Star Wars Legos whatsoever. It wasn't up until maybe like 2 years ago that I finally bought a Star Wars Lego set because it just made me too sad. I was just like, it just reminds me of when I lost my entire Lego set when I was a kid. Like all my Star Wars, like just everything was gone.
Emotional damage.
Have you ever collaborated with another Star Wars channel? Yes, I have. Bombastic, for example. I've done a couple things with him. He's awesome. He's a really cool guy. I'm sure you guys know his channel. It's been a while. It's actually been a long time since I've done some type of collaboration. I have communicated with other Star Wars YouTube channels like Star Wars Explained. I have talked to Star Wars Theory a couple times, but among others. And I mean, I do want to actually do that more. I would love to do more collaborations with other channels, just in general. It doesn't even have to be Star Wars. My own videos, they take so long to do, and by collaborating, it's, you know, that's dedicating a lot of extra time outside something. And I mean, I'm already having time struggling just keeping up with my own channel, let alone doing a collab with, again, no matter what the channel might be. But I would love to do more of it. I need to like actually figure out a better plan and a better schedule on how I can make that happen. Will you ever do a meetup somewhere? I mean, I've never done like a quote-unquote official meetup before. I've gone to certain events where I thought, some of you guys might be, and I kind of just posted, hey, I'm going to be here, but I've never done like an official like meetup like that before. But I mean, if you haven't, be sure to go follow me on Instagram, the Larry the Stormtrooper Instagram page, because that's where I post a lot of other personal things and also updates, even just on projects, here's some new characters that are coming. If you don't follow me on Larry the Stormtrooper on Instagram, be sure to go do that, because again, that's where I post a lot of updates. Have you been able to meet anybody from Star Wars? Not professionally, I haven't met them, but no, I did go to a kind of like a Comic-Con last year, and they had a few cast members from the Clone Wars series. I didn't get a chance to meet them all, but I did meet Matt Lanter, and I actually had him sign. I actually go get it real quick. All right, here it is. So, yep. So it might be kind of hard to see, but I have this saber here, and I had Matt Lanter sign it right there. Pretty much the only one I got to meet while I was there. Right next to his was Ashley Eckstein. She was there, of course, the voice of Ahsoka. But probably the biggest one I'm actually officially going to meet. I'm going to go to the one in Chicago. It's the Fan Expo this year, and Mark Hamill is going to be there. And I don't know if I'll have this one or a different one. I'm going to have him sign something for me, but I have many favorite characters throughout Star Wars, but Mark Hamill, the Luke Skywalker, he is by far one of my favorite characters of Star Wars, so I'm so excited that I'm finally going to meet him. I'm going to do, the pictures and everything. It's going to be awesome. I really like this question here because I think it does refer back to when I was a performing illusionist. It says, what were your favorite moments in performing? And I would say that anybody, whatever it might be, whether you're a singer or, again, illusionist or an entertainer or a comedian, whatever it might be, it's the reaction of the crowd. And specifically as being an illusionist, it was that amazement in their eyes. It was basically like an adrenaline rush. I always described it that it was like a drug, like getting that reaction from people, that freaking out moment, their eyes is opening up wide, that moment when they just could not believe what they saw.
I believe in magic!
Like, that was the best part of performing. And whether it was, on stage or maybe up close, those were some of the best moments. And I've got some good stories of freak out moments from people, which could be for another video. But those were some of the best moments from when I was performing as an illusionist. Anybody who has seen my past videos, you may have seen that I talk about this channel as far as, like, it was never intended for me to make animations. That was never my original idea for creating this channel. It just kind of turned into that. And of course, I'm excited that it did, and I love doing it for that amount of time. But again, that was never the intention, and because of that, I knew nothing about animation whatsoever. I did have a background in graphic design and video and stuff like that, but as far as animation goes, I knew absolutely nothing about it. I never considered myself an animator. Like, I just feel like I didn't earn that, because again, I knew nothing about it. I was just going into it blindly, and here we are now today. But again, I never felt I earned that title being called an animator. It was similar to when I was an illusionist, which I still do sometimes, but not as much. And this is actually really cool. This is a Mandalorian deck. It's actually from Theory 11. They're pretty cool. But similar to when I was a performing illusionist, it took about a year and a half of doing shows that I finally looked at myself and I thought, you know what? I am now a professional illusionist. And so now here we are, similar situation of being on YouTube. And I feel that I have now earned that title as a professional animator here on YouTube. And I hope you guys agree. And let me know in the comments what you guys think, if you believe I've earned that title. Having a title, like giving out a title or accepting a title or anything like that, I take very seriously. I think it's something that's earned through time and experience. And I feel like I have finally hit that point here on YouTube. So again, let me know what you think in the comments. Those are all the questions I'm going to go through today. Thank you so much for checking out today's video. If there was a question I didn't get to, or if there's one you want to see next time, because I'd like to do another video like this, be sure to put it in the comments. I'll use those for the next video for any questions you may have. And also, once again, thanks to ARTSABERS for sending me the Starkiller saber. This one's pretty cool, having that exposed crystal there. So once again, thank you for them. As always, guys, if you're not, be sure to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And also be sure to check the notifications. I've gotten a lot of people have commented to me that they're not getting notifications. I'm not sure what that issue might be. All right, guys, thank you so much. And may the Force be with you.